enable us to continue with Rotary life and serve humanity. Amen.
Thank you very much. Yedida, kindly give us the loyal toast.
Thank you so much, CMP. Good morning, Rotarians, Rotaractors, and everyone on call. For the wonderful morning we are about to receive, the fantastic panelists we have lined up, and for the love Daybreak receives, I propose a loyal toast to His Excellency, the President of Uganda.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Rotarian Dr. Patricia Achan, kindly guide us through the forward test.
Members of Rotary, forward test. Of the things we think, say, or do, first, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very, very much, Dr. Patricia Achan, and to you, comrades of the Blueberries, for guiding us through the Rotary norms today. We really appreciate and we feel safe under your pilotship, like they say. So friends, it is right about now that I would like to allow only 1 minute for the burning Rotary information. I will allow only 2 people, but for the rest of us, we can channel our Rotary information through the chat section. We'll 100% pay attention to it and give it the due care that it deserves. Can I have anyone with Rotary information? I will take only 2 hands, 30 seconds each. Yes, I see you, Changemaker President Kazora, and after that, it will be Agnes Naigo of Rotary Club of Chico. Each one of you, 30 seconds. Kazola, go right ahead.
Thank you so much, President Chitakoye. And the Rotary Club of Kampala shall be hosting Honorable Magora on the 11th of December at PVC Hotel in our fundraiser. Rotarians are paying only 100K, Rotaractors 30K, and VIP 500. Thank you so much. We are fundraising for an adolescent and maternal center in Bugwili. Thank you. Over to
Thank you
President.
very, very much. I will encourage you to channel that information again through the chat section for the benefit of those of us that are yet to join in. My sister Agnes, you have your 30 seconds. Please take it away.
Thank you, President. Thank you, President. Good morning, everyone. Just reminding you that we shall be hosting the DG on the 25th of this month at Serena Chigo. She'll be, the time is 1 to 3 p.m. Kindly join us virtually and physically. Thank you so much. We fellowship every Thursday, and I'm waiting for this big number this evening. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, and we will definitely return the favor. One good turn deserves the other. We'll certainly be with you. Last but not least, I will allow our DGN, Francisco Semwanga, to kindly unmute and share with us Rotary information.
Thank you very much, President Frederick. Members on call and friends, I would like to invite you to our district conference and assembly for District 9214, which is going to happen in Arusha, Tanzania, between the 12th to the 14th of May, 2022. President, I'm also mobilizing Rotarians of 9214 who are going to storm Naivasha to support District 9213. So in this kind of collaboration and working together, I'm requesting members of 9213 please to join us in Arusha. Early bird registration is closing on the 31st of December with $190 for Rotarians and $100 for Rotaractors. Please join us and we serve together as we continue doing good in the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, DGN. And friends from Naivasha, it is just a connecting moment. We connect straight to the DCA of District 9214, our international partners, and we'll be glad to join you. So friends, allow me to take a moment to identify with some of our Rotarians that are hurting. We are a family. If one of us is hurting, all of us are hurting. We'd like to identify with the family of the late Chasanku from the Rotary Club, all the way from the Rotary Club of Bweyogerere, who actually passed on during the course of last week. But also, I would like we would like actually to identify with one of our own Changemaker, President Rose, who lost her husband. So I will request that you join us to observe a moment of silence for 30 seconds. May their souls rest in eternal peace. So to the daybreakers and the rest of the Rotary fraternity, we thank you that you turned up on Saturday and we are able to plant the trees on our ECD in Ruzira. Thank you very much. I implore you to follow through those trees until they germinate and be able to benefit and serve the purpose for which they are planted. I request you friends to join us this very Saturday as we rally to donate blood for our blood bank in Mengo. Friends, like I said from the beginning, we are excited to delve into discussion of the foundation that transforms our gifts into projects that change lives. And like I rightly said from the beginning, this morning we have a gallant colleague. So allow me right now, turn this session to our none other than Dr. A.G. James Onyoin to take it away. A.G. James, over to you.
Mr. President, today we are really blessed to have 3 district governors amidst us, and not only district governors, but district governors from the East African region. I will start with District Governor-elect Peace Taremwa, who's from Uganda, and District 9214. And DGE Taremwa, I'm introducing them very briefly, just for you to, I know they don't need much introduction, so I'll be very brief. DGE Peace Taremwa is a project manager for the JICA finance projects in Uganda. He's a certified public accountant. So he's on celebration mode. It was Accountants Day yesterday. He's a B-Stat, he holds a B Statistics, an MBA from Makerere University. He's the board chairman, Rotary Technical Institute, and chief whip Entebbe Road Rotarians Investment Club. He's a treasurer, Rotary Blood Bank, Mengo, Mission Green, and Rotary International USAID Watch Project. He's a honorary member for the Rotary Club of Webaja. He's a major donor. He has attended Intercity Conference, 8 DCAs, and 4 zonal institutes, and also 3 Rotary International Conventions. District Governor-elect Peace, can you put on your camera for members to see you for a minute? Okay. Next we have past District Governor Jayesh. He was our past District Governor, as you all remember. Jayesh Asha. He is the Managing Director of Asha Industries Limited in Tanga in Tanzania. He's a registered pharmacist under the Pharmacy Council of Tanzania. He also a Bachelor of Science in Pharmacy from the Albany College of Pharmacy, that's in the US. He holds a Master of Science in Health Systems Management from the Union Grade School of Union University, that's also in the US. He's a major donor level 2 and a BK Society member level 2. Join me in welcoming PDG Jayesh Asha.
Thank you, A.G. James.
Thank you. Next on the line is a very close friend to us, past district governor, Eric Chimani. I've met him a number of times. I think the last time was the TRF dinner where I was chairman in 2017, 2018. And he's also the person, if my memory is good, who was the district governor when we were chartering the Rotary Club of Kampala Daybreak. So you're welcome back to Kampala Daybreak, PDG Eric Chimani. And Chimani is an endowment and major gifts advisor for Region 28 of Zone 22 for a 3-year term, 2021 to 2024. He holds a bachelor's degree in law from the University of London. He's from the Rotary Club of Nairobi, Muthaiga North for over 30 years. He was the best district governor, Africa Zone 2017-2018, where District 9211 was the best district. So he was our governor, as I mentioned earlier, before we gave birth to another district and then other districts. And he's a lead facilitator for the Rotary Leadership Institute, fundraising chair, water, sanitation and hygiene. You said Rotary International Project. He's an accountant. He's a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya. So he's also on celebration mode. He has served Rotary at continental and global level. He's a major donor to the Rotary Foundation. He's a member of the Arc Clam Society. I want to repeat that. He's a member of the Arc Clam Society, the BK Society, and the Paul Harris Society. So he's, I think, the second Arc Clam member that I know physically, apart from PDG Emmanuel Katongole. You're welcome, Eric Chimani.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So we are going straight into the Q&A, and I mean a few questions to the panelists, which I'm moderating, and I'm really delighted that you made time to be with us at Daybreak. So the first question, I'm going to shoot it to to DGE Peace Taremwa. I would like you to share your experience with us. What has been your experience regarding mobilization of the contributions from members and clubs to the Rotary Foundation? Just in 2 minutes.
Thank you so much, our moderator and the friends and on the panel, my seniors, and everybody on call. We certainly be happy to be here to listen in to some of the good things we have talked about and we continue to talk about. Now, about mobilization, I think this has been one of the biggest nightmares in some parts of our countries here. You find a club that is so passionate about giving the Rotary Foundation, and one evening you go for dinner and they raise 10, 20,000. That's very exciting. I can recall there is a time we went to Tank Hill, Uyanga Tank Hill, and in one evening we comfortably were able to raise more than 20,000. That's one group. You got other clubs, and you find that getting $1 is next to impossible. And they continue giving zero year in, year out. I must say that it has not been very exciting, and we still have room for improving our giving the Rotary Foundation. We've had areas where our own friends have been to many clubs, to visit them, talk about the Rotary Foundation, but I must say it has not been rosy.
Thank you very much, Peace, for opening that. I'll come back to the other panelists on the same question. But for now, I would like us to move forward, and I would like to ask Governor Jayesh, what is your experience regarding the utilization of the TRF grants by the Rotary and Rotaract clubs? What has been your experience over the years from the angle of utilization?
I think there is a general, shall we say, misconception that Rotary grants are very difficult to get. There is a lot of paperwork involved. There is a lot of expertise that is required. And that is sort of turning off most of the clubs. When we had matching grants, for example, many more clubs used to take part because it was smaller things, you know, $1,000 match for $1,000. And most of our clubs used to take part in that. Now, I can certainly understand TRF's point of view in switching over to the bigger grants, which actually make a sustainable difference in the communities. But moving towards a bigger grant, of course, requires a much more detailed project submission, project monitoring, stewardship, etc. So that has sort of created the perception in people's mind that this is a very difficult thing to do. And so they don't really pursue that. I think that is what we have to do really, is to get to them and try to sort of break this down so that they understand very well that this is not difficult at all. It's very easy to get, but there are certain things that need to be followed. And that has been my experience. You know, wherever I go, whenever I ask, why is there no global grant here? Oh, you know, we haven't gotten it, or we think it's too difficult and it is too much involved in there, and we don't have a grant big enough. You have small grants, small projects. Why don't you scale them up? Why don't you combine them all? But it seems to be that people think that that's a very difficult thing to do. So I think that is what we have to do, is demystify this grant process in the grants themselves.
Okay, thank you very much, Governor Jayesh. We need to demystify the utilization of the global grants. Okay, I want to come to First District Governor Eric Chimani. Would you share with us your experience in Kenya, and also I know you are District Governor for Uganda and Tanzania as well, and maybe another country. Can you share your experience as far as mobilization of the contributions for the Rotary Foundation is, and also utilization of these grants?
Thank you, and once again, President Frederick and the Daybreakers and Rotarians of 9213, good morning. It's a pleasure to be with you. I'm gratified to see so many of us here, which means that people want to understand the foundation, this foundation month. My experiences with mobilizing, giving to the Rotary Foundation is that there is a lot of excitement when you talk about giving. Right now, I see 170 of us here. And I can tell you that the majority of the people sitting here have not given anything to the foundation. So that's the first challenge, that people hear. But moving from hearing to doing is such a big problem. And I can tell you it's not about not having the money, because the minimum gift the Rotary Foundation accepts is $5. And I do not think there is anybody who is in Rotary who cannot raise $50. I don't think so. So the biggest problem I see is getting people to actually take the checkbook or take the money and give it to the foundation. And I don't know how we are going to simplify this for most people, because I think our people are still afraid to use their credit cards, which is the easiest thing, to take your credit card and go to donate. Just click that key, donate. Donate your $20 or and until you donate 20, you will never donate 100. You'll never donate 1,000. Until you donate 1,000, you will not become a PHF level 3. So the the way I see it, the biggest problem in mobilizing gifts is moving people from aspiration to actual action. I guarantee you, if today the 13 people here, 180 almost, today everybody said, I'm now going to take action, they will begin to mobilize gifts. And you will see that those who gave yesterday are more likely to give tomorrow and continue giving. Those who don't give get poorer. They are not able to give. They are not able to give. Yeah, let me stop there for the moment.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, PDG Eric Chimani. And I think what you really brought on the table is the call to action. And I want us to, all of us, to reflect on ourselves. Have a soul search on yourself. Have you donated since the beginning of this year? I think that's the message that's coming out very, very clearly from Governor Eric Chimani. Thank you so much for that. I think all of us are going to be challenged, and we're all going to look into our records, log on to My Rotary and see what contribution have you made in the last 4 years. And we really need to take action. Just one last bit from DG Peace Taremwa. What do you see? What is your experience on the utilization side? I remember you told us quite a bit about the contribution side.
Thank you so much, friends. I actually realize that the majority of the clubs that have not been contributing are very good utilizers of the Rotary Foundation. That's the irony in this.
Yes.
I give just a few examples. In our Rotary USAID project, the Rotary International USAID project, I was part of the pre-qualification for the clubs to participate. You find a club that has given zero for the past 5 years, and you ask them what amount of money would they want to utilize, and they would come up with 150 to 200,000, and then you ask yourself, from where do they think this money is coming? Now, we have had one challenge about utilization. People have not understood the process so well, they have not internalized it. We have had another challenge of clubs qualifying to utilize the clubs over simple things like having audited accounts, simple things like printing a paper from the website, an MOU, and having it signed by the president and the president-elect. So I want to think that we can improve on our attitude. If we can improve on our attitude, there are very many small things that we shall do right, and utilization will be easier. The bigger problem we have had on utilization is the element of international partners. We stay around the Marangwe, and we expect that international partners will find us at home. We never go to the website to even make a random try. We have some of our colleagues, they just go to the internet and push every club they find they're able to get to, and accidentally they bump into one which has been looking for an international partner. We have had a challenge on international partners, and that's why I think the issue of the district international service chairs is coming up to support. The other thing I think we are coming up with is that we have developed the idea of grant support officers and project mentors. These are the ones which are going to help our own clubs, handhold them to improve on our utilization. I can stop there in the meantime.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being very brief and precise. So thank you very much, panelists. We'll now go to the second round of my questions. And I want to start with PDG Jahesh. Jayesh. What advice can you give to the Rotary fraternity on how to increase contribution from members and clubs to the Rotary Foundation? What advice can you give to the Rotary fraternity on how we can increase the contributions from members and clubs to the foundation?
I go back to what PDG Eric had mentioned, is that people, when they start giving, they keep on giving. I'll give you my own example. 4 years I became a Rotarian. I had not given a single cent to the foundation. After the 4 years, I became the president of the club. And fortunately, at that particular year, there was that All Africa Challenge, and 500 points were offered to anyone who put in $500 to become a PHF. And I got my club to sign up with 13 people getting PHFs on that year. But 3 years after that, I was a major donor. So he's very true that once you start giving, you will see the benefits of giving. Now, coming back to how can we get people to start giving? Again, I think it's a mindset issue. There are two things here that I've encountered. The first mindset issue that I've encountered is this. When you go to ask people to give to the foundation, they say, oh, we are the poor people. Why should we give to the foundation? You know, the rich people are sitting up in the West, in the US, etc. They're giving to the foundation. We just utilize. And that, again, goes to what DG Peace was saying. The clubs that utilize the most actually end up giving the least to the foundation. Because it's, again, that mindset. It's the mindset of us being poor. Are we poor, really? No, we're not. We're not poor at all. I mean, you know, our countries have so many natural resources. Okay, they are left behind a bit in development, but that doesn't mean we are poor. As Eric rightly said, each one of us can at least give, if you're a Rotarian, you can give $50. So the first thing is to try to change this mindset of us being poor. We can give anything. And once you start giving, start with the $5. Just start with the $5. And we need to have that mechanism. Again, something that PDG Eric mentioned is people are afraid. Many people want to give. And I remember when I was going around to the clubs as well, they'll say, here, my money, you know, give it to the foundation. And say, no, you send it in under your name. And they are finding it difficult. And I try to explain to them, use your debit cards, use your credit cards. It's very easy to do. Everyone has a debit card now. If you don't, the mobile money operators now give virtual credit cards or virtual debit cards, as they do in Tanzania and Uganda. I know that. So use that. And I actually came up with a short template as well on the steps for them to follow. But again, then they don't follow up with that. So they're ready to give when you're right there, but they don't go through it after that. So that's one thing. We have to try to change that mindset. The other mindset that I've encountered many times also, and that was the first thing, you know, when I was first made an AG, and my first trip to a club that was not my own as an AG, and I'm trying to explain to them why they give to the foundation. And they just turn to me and say, but this $100, why should I send it to the foundation where I can give it here locally and see the results right there? So then I had to, you know, being a new Rotarian at that point, or a new leader at that point as well, I had difficulty in explaining. And now I know how to explain that as well, and saying that, look, that $100 will be multiplied 10, 15, 20 times when you utilize it. So those are the two big challenges we can do, is try to change this mindset. How to do it? It's up to us as leaders to try to find every single way to go to the clubs and start hammering the information into them that we're not poor, we can give. Why should we give to them and not use it here? Because it is multiplied 10, 15, 20-fold when it comes back to us.
Thank you very much, Governor Jayesh. And I think you bring out two very key things there. One is the mindset, which also Governor Eric had hinted on earlier. The mindset, we need to change that mindset. And I think it is a responsibility for all of us as Rotarians, wherever you are, whoever you are talking to, try to make sure they understand why we should give to the Rotary Foundation and why it is so important. And then the other one is you developed a template, and I would like you to ask you to actually share this template with us, maybe after this session. This is something we could, you know, the steps 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, somebody should go through to be able to give to the foundation. If you can share this template, I think we'll circulate it widely to everyone who's on call today and to all the Rotarians that we can reach. Thank you very much for those contributions. The next question will go to Eric, to Peace. You mentioned about these clubs which don't give at all. And I remember the late Sam Owori, Rotary International president-elect, used to have a piece of paper in his pocket of clubs which don't give anything at all. And that was quite a list which was quite worrying to all of us. But he was so concerned that he always had that list. So at any one time, he would pull it out and remind everyone that these clubs have not contributed. What do you think, District Governor-elect Peace, what can be done to get rid of, to remove or to eliminate these zero-giving clubs?
Thank you so much, friends on call, and thank you, moderator. The issue of zero-giving clubs, I want to concur with our colleagues on the panel. It's basically an attitude issue. Why do I call it an attitude issue? Very many of us, when we go for fellowship, will take a soda. Save for those ones who go with their cups of tea in people's hotels and utilize the seats and go to the washrooms when they have not contributed at all, even to where they are seated. Now, I want to say that it's basically an attitude issue, that our responsibility as Rotarians is to increase awareness. Let's tell everybody, let's tell ourselves that we are very good to be Rotarians, but we do good in the world when we start donating the first dollar to the Rotary Foundation. In the countryside, no, not even the countryside, save for those who are staying in the main cities. As you start getting out of the main cities, we have developed books, a registration book, a TRF book. Because you don't have 100,000 to give on the first go, every time you come for fellowship, you drop in 10,000, you drop in 30,000, you drop in 5,000. By the end of the year, the money you have contributed in that book already makes you a contributor to the Rotary Foundation. I think that it's basically an attitude issue. And I believe that with increased awareness, our colleagues, ourselves, will be able to contribute to the Rotary Foundation.
Thank you very much, Governor Peace. I think you've emphasized the point that it is really an attitude issue, and we need a mindset change, as Governor Jayeshat said. So I think also you brought out one important thing. Do not try to give, $1,000 at a go or $100 at a go. It may be heavy, but the best way to eat an elephant is to cut a small piece and take it, to cut it until you finish the elephant. So I think the formula you have brought for us is that just give your 5,000, give your 10,000, give your 25,000, depending on that week how you are. By the end of the year, you will have actually made a good contribution to the Rotary Foundation. And maybe the call to action to all Changemaker presidents on the line now, and all district leaders, and everybody who's a Rotarian and Rotaractor, is that let's introduce those TRF books at our various clubs. Okay, if we are not meeting physically, at least have an Excel sheet which shows, which helps people to track how they are making the contributions. I think the treasurers should really take this up, and the Changemaker presidents and all the leaders within the district. Thank you very much for that contribution. So I come back to Governor Eric. Chimani. I know very well you have a role in mobilizing TRF. I think at the zonal level, you can explain to us the role you have. I know you have it. How can we increase the utilization of the grants by the Rotary clubs and Rotaract clubs in our region, let's say East Africa, for example? Thank you.
Thank you for that. And first of all, allow me to just say to the Rotary Club of Daybreak that last night I was looking at your record. There are members who've been members since you are formed, they've never given a coin. The whole of your district 9213 so far has given 95,000 US dollars. But I can tell you 70% of the clubs are still at zero. And I can tell you the zero givers, 80% of the people on this call are zero givers. And I was speaking on Tuesday to another club and I was telling them, this is the last time I'll talk to you about giving. Don't come again. Because you tell me you are inspired to give, but you still end up giving a zero. So I hope that the people on this call, the 220, don't say, oh, we are inspired by Jayesh and Peace to give and then give zero. Please move from inspiration to action. But I also want to congratulate your club that so far you've given $5,000, but mainly from 4 people, 2 of your major donors and 2 others. And yes, coming to the question of utilization of grants by Rotary and Rotaract clubs, my experience is 90% of the grants are done by the same clubs. And it's a pity that we join Rotary. Many of us tell ourselves we join Rotary to help communities. Yet we have very little we do. And our villages, our people are wallowing in problems. What I have seen myself, what I notice is that there is more money in Rotary than there are people who can use it. Rotarians, not many want to step out and utilize those grants because there's a lot of work. I have written grants, I have delivered grants, there's a lot of work. And if you go in the whole of Uganda and look at the clubs that do the grants, it is the same clubs where there is experience, where there is people who want to go out and do the work. Until you dirty your hands, you will not utilize the grants. So although East Africa, and that includes Ethiopia, Tanzania, Kenya, we must rank among the 3rd largest utilizers of grants in the whole world, after India and one other maybe. We could still do more. And we could do more if us Rotarians can go back to our villages and identify those needs and leverage the fact that you know Jayesh or PDG Tusu or somebody and get work going. So although we pride ourselves as wholesome utilizing a lot of grants, I am not convinced we have even reached our 50% capacity. I want to urge Rotarians, go and look at those needs. And like PDG Jayesh said, don't hunt squirrels, go for the elephants, go do big things, go and do a big project and get people to come around you and other clubs to contribute, ask Kenya to contribute, ask another district to contribute. And from there, we can utilize grants better. But having said that, congratulations to our districts. They do a good job compared to the world out there. But we have so much needs. So my appeal is let us try and step out and say, I'll become a better Rotarian, because unless you are serving, you are doing good in the world, unless you are doing your attendance and the fellowships, then you are not really fulfilling your Rotary promise. Your Rotary promise, part of it is doing good in the world. How far are you going in doing good to the world? You ask me what my work is. My work is to leverage support to the Rotary Foundation. If I had time, I would have shared the same story Jayesh shared that I did not give for very long because I've been a Rotarian for over 30 years. But for my first decade, maybe I gave $1,000. But my second decade, I had multiplied that 5 times over. By my third decade, I had multiplied that 10 times over. By now, I have multiplied it many, many times over. What am I saying? Start the journey. Don't wish to be like Jayesh, a major donor, if you've never given 1,000. If you've not given 500, don't wish to become a PHF if you've never given anything. So that's what I would share as my experiences. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Governor Eric. So members, I think you've heard from Governor Eric. We really have to get serious on this thing. 80% of the people on this call give 0. That's not good statistics. We cannot accept that rule of is it Peroli or whatever, which says that it is only 20% of the people who do the work for the rest. Let the 80% do the work as well. So I think that's a call to action. Let's see what we can do. And he has also mentioned something which I saw on National Geographic Wild one time, that a lion doesn't go for squirrels. You will just look at it, but you will look for the buffalo. You will look for a big animal. So as far as utilization is concerned, let's do our best. Let's go. There are so many needs in our communities which need the Rotary Foundation utilization. Why are you just driving that Prado, bypassing people suffering instead of talking to the people, the community, and identifying the problems? So I think that is very clear to all of us. The last round of questions, really, I'll start with the Jayesh. What major impact have the TRF Global Grants had in the communities that we serve? Can you share your experience on that?
Oh, certainly. This is, if I start talking now, we'll probably be talking for another 2-3 hours if I tell you what things that I've seen, how the Rotary Foundation grants have changed our communities so far. But let me just talk about one particular one, since I only have a couple of minutes to talk. The Rotary Club of Same, a very small club, because Same is sort of it's no longer a village now, it's bigger than a village, but it's still not a town. It's not even a township yet, really. It's on the way between Tanga and Moshi, somewhere in Kilimanjaro region. And Same and that whole area is very dry. In fact, if you're traveling, and I believe PDG Eric, we traveled that road, if I remember correctly, you would see the shift right away. You'd come to a point where everything was green and suddenly everything changes to brown. And that area is very arid, very dry. And Rotary Club of Same has worked over the number of years, and they've brought in almost close to $1 million in global grants to that area. A very small club of only 8, 12, 15 people, over the years, it goes up and down, but very committed, very well implemented projects. They work with WASH and they bring in these major grants. In fact, I think they're just completing a $250,000 project right now as part of an additional thing. And they've brought in water down from the mountains all the way down to that whole area. And it's not just Same. There's so many villages in between. There's another little township called Mwanga there. All that area has been covered by that project, and there is water running in pipes now, water running to the homes now where there was no water at all. And that project has totally transformed that community. Everyone knows Rotary in that community. I had gone there at times, and people know Rotary there as well. And they have, I believe they have Rotary Community Corps coming in and participating. And by the way, Same, that brings up another thing. Same is actually a Swahili club. There's only 1 or 2 people in there who speak English. The rest of them don't speak English at all. And they conduct their business in Swahili. And that is okay, but they do this wonderful work in their communities, which show a major impact. And that whole area right now is transformed with drinking water. Everyone, not only every human being has the access to drinking water, clean drinking water, but the livestock as well. They brought in the water, then they found out where, the farmers, the herders came in and said, where should we take our livestock then? So they made a separate provision in those grants for providing water for the livestock as well. So that is one really changing, community life-changing project that I've seen. And there's so many more across all our districts. If you take Kenya.
Governor Jayesh, you have given such a big, impactful project. I think we can even stop at that one example. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Has been really life-changing for the people in Northern Tanzania. Thank you. Thank you. It's Northern Tanzania, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's Kilimanjaro region.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. That's really great. Yeah. So I think for the interest of time, I'm just going to ask Governor Eric Chimani to tell us how can the Rotary fraternity ensure that we get an even bigger impact of the projects that we implement in our communities. Just in 1 minute, because we are running out of time. And then after that, I will call Governor Peace to come in.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think one answer is in what PDG Jayesh said earlier. Leverage your money. Don't go out there working with your $2,000 when you could leverage that 2,000 and work with the foundation and other partners. Many times Rotarians, we want to take on everything. And yet if we go to corporate organizations, like recently we worked with Stanbic, and I've seen it in your country, that the biggest grants and the biggest work that has come out in Uganda and around Kampala is when you leverage Centenary Bank, Stanbic, when you leverage other people, is when you're able to do bigger things. So as you think projects, think who else can join in, and also who else, whose other money can you leverage? Don't go it alone. And that way, I think the impact will be larger. And by the way, there are very many people then who will be able to contribute to the work we do as Rotary. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Governor Eric. Finally, to Peace, our DGE, can you tell us your thoughts around the impacts these projects have had, but most importantly, what I want you to focus on in the last 1 minute, which you have, is what can be done to make sure we have bigger, bolder, and more impactful projects.
Thank you so much, moderator, once again. I think we have one biggest advantage that we can take, one biggest aspect we can take advantage of, and that is collaboration. Kampala Daybreak is very good at raising money. Kampala South is very good at mobilizing cheerleaders. Kampala Rotary Club of Kajansi is very good at stewardship. Rotary Club of Kabare is very good at carrying out a needs assessment. The Rotary Club of Guru is very good at formulating a project proposal. That's one part of the coin. Go to our colleagues, the Koreans, very good givers. And for them, very many clubs will give 1,000, 2,000, 2,000, 3,000. Get another team from Nigeria, another 1,000, 2,000, 1,000. And we utilize their DDF. So my plea and my recommendation is that let's work together.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Governor Peace, for that. And I think in Uganda, for example, if I can share, I sit in the board of Rotary Uganda Limited. We have brought together all the clubs under one umbrella. And I think this is a very good vehicle for collaboration, which you are talking about. And I'm sure that you are one of the people driving Rotary Uganda Limited. Let's collaborate across the region, across the globe. Let's collaborate, let's put our hands together and really go for very, very impactful projects. Thank you very much for your various contributions. I'm going to ask you to, if you can, after the formal session, let's stay a bit for about 15 minutes. There will be what we call Chimeza here in Uganda. It is some kind of an after party where we shall now have a general discussion on what has come up in this talk today. At that point, you'll then give your final shots at that point, because we've run out of time. I now have to hand over back to the president to open it up to the floor. I know there are a lot of questions already running in the chat section. So, Mr. President, I want to bring it back to you. I've asked all the panelists to keep around after the session for at least 15 minutes, where we shall have a general session, and then they can give their final thoughts at that point. Thank you very much. Over to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Dr. James, for doing what exactly doctors do, and not only doctors, also CPS. And to you, our leaders, district leaders, wow. And friends, before I can even open it up for discussion, I really want to put action to the talk right now. We're going to spare some moments to put action to the talk. We cannot have 7 district governors. We have leaders from 7 districts talking to us here at Daybreak, and we continue not giving. I know that the best way we can appreciate these gallant leaders, these district leaders, and many of them on call, is for us to actually put action. And how can we put action? Right now, we are going to give. And I think, not that we are coerced, it is more blessed to give than to receive. And I want to start us off. I know that we have already given, and that as president, I've already given, but I want to invite friends, especially the daybreakers. We have very many of us here. If each of us gave something, we would move a very step far. So I want to start. I will pledge additional giving of $500 to the foundation. And yes, because we need to put action right now. And I want to invite you, our TRF director. I know Major Donor Timothy Basima. You need to guide us in this session. We need to put action to the talk, because we can talk until the cows home, but we need to give action. So Major Donor and TRF Director Timothy Basima, I'll allow you a moment of action to the talk by these gallant leaders on call with us this morning. Major Donor Timothy, over to you.
Thank you very much, President Frederick. What an honor we enjoy this morning to have all these gallant leaders passionately telling us on how to give, how we've given, but how we've probably utilized also. It's an honor and also a privilege that the president, I cannot give less than $500 also from this passionate talk. I will add on from the $500 and see what I can add on. But for record, $500, I'll put it on table. There is no reason, the president, why we can have the leaders like James Onyoin, who is currently the major donor, leaders like AGE Safina, who is a leader at the moment, leaders like our good past district treasurer and past assistant governor Frederick Sibedi in the house, and the rest not giving in, and we all say we are going. This is something that we have to act on. Members of Rotary Club of Kampala Daybreak, by show of hands or by talk, let's act, make a difference in society. We shall be blessed. The floor is yours, members of Rotary Club of Kampala Daybreak.
Major Donor Timothy, I will start with $100.
I wish I would hear the claps in the background. I wish, yes, now you're talking. Here it is the dollars that talk. Daybreak is known for mobilization. Daybreak is known for leading from the front. I can see.
I've seen a contribution from one Frederick Chibedi of $500. I think so. I think it's in the chat.
That is a very, 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 very high contribution. Can we hear the claps from the background?
I see a hand from President Safina.
I beg your pardon?
I see a hand from President Safina.
She can go on and shoot.
Yes, Major Donor, Mission Green President. I have a big challenge really. I'm following the big men of Kampala Daybreak. May I say that I will contribute 500 to improve on my PHF level?
Can you guys clap your hands high? This is the day that Daybreak has to show that they are always the leaders in our district. Go on, guys.
Timothy, I have seen $500 from P. Edward Mugera, and I think Esther Kakuba's CPA is also raising her hand. Esther, please unmute yourself. And
Thank you so much. Please accept my $50 tentatively.
A big clap, guys. Amidst ourselves, we have your worship, a High Court Judge, Mugabo. We can see you in the background cheering us. Go on, guys, and we make ourselves celebrate.
There's no bill these days.
I see a contribution in the chat section of $500 from PHF already, Patience Musime. Wow.
Guys, can you give in a very big hand clap? We are motivated, we can't be there, and we don't make a difference in society.
I see a hand from Irene.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Allow me to give $100.
A big hand clap and a big shout, guys. Frederick Sibeli is saying something.
From Jimmy Ogwal, Engineer Jimmy Ogwal is giving $100.
Daybreakers, you are leading from the front as usual. We have major donors, we have PHFs, and we are now going to close it by having everybody giving in this year. What an honor.
President.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I'm giving $50 today.
Thank you. President gave the boss $50.
Timothy's Rotarian Yedi and Yeru are giving $200. I don't know whether each one of them, because they are twins, or 200 as twins.
They will share as twins. I presume it is $100 from each of them since they are twins.
President.
Yes, Ivan.
No, this is Grace. Who is me not?
Yes, Grace. Yes, Dr. Grace.
Yeah, this is Grace. Who are me not to give $100? I'm very excited with the fellowship.
This is the time for giving, guys. I like the
Timothy, there is also Rotarian Alice Elizabeth from Rotary Club of Nairobi giving $100. Started the process following the PDG Eric Kimani.
That is the internationality of giving. You give, you get. You give, you get. Let's give until it pains. The fortunate part is that it does not pain, guys. Let's give.
Timothy, there is also Rotarian Dorothy Achan giving $100.
Rotarian Dorothy Chan, who is the president nominee for the club.
President, I don't know whether I was heard, but I was giving in $50.
And then there is our baby Faith to Sabe giving $100. Faith
That's what they call Rotary Club of Kampala Daybreak. You talk about Daybreak, you talk about the Rotary Foundation. You have made the square close. I beg to move towards the closure of this session, but if there is any more other hand or any more other somebody to speak about the giving and give until it pains, you are very much welcome. President, I think I can hand over to you so that we close the session.
Wow, Thank you very much. Daybreakers and the comrades on call this morning. There is no better way to appreciate our gallant panelists that are so passionate about the foundation. A quick mathematics, and I request the treasurer, the admin to give us the final statistics at the end of the fellowship. But a quick perusal shows me over $3,000 contributed by the Rotary Club of Kampala Daybreak to our foundation this morning. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, our leaders, for really, encouraging us and for enlightening us about this great foundation. I think in the interest of time, I will allow you, A.G. Chibedi, only 5 minutes, strictly 5 minutes, to get to weigh in with contributions from the audience so that it is not a monologue. Over to you, A.G. Chibedi.
Thank you very much, President. President, I know we have run out of time, but there were a number of questions that were raised in the chat room. And thank you so much, our panelists, DG Jayesh and DG Eric Kimani. I will not forget the time we were chatted in 2012 when you gave that very inspirational talk that made many of us to stay to date. Rotarian Hichiro of Rubaga is asking a question. Is it not a question of poor leadership that you have 0 contributing clubs to the Rotary Foundation? And he wants the panelists to see if they can address that. I don't know who will take that. Probably DG Peace will take that. DG Peace, you have killed one person today and she says she's dead. So I don't know how she's communicating. That is Rotarian Sarah Lwanga. She says your example of using the washroom when you have not even paid for it killed her. Rotarian Jimmy Ogwal is asking the same question. Is it the lack of education and awareness on how to contribute that might be a problem? And do we not need to emphasize that more, how they contribute? Then there's a question from President-elect of the Rotary Club of Entebbe, my friend, Dr. Helen Natu. She's asking a question. Since there are targets that the Rotary International gives each club through the governor arrangement, the district arrangement, if somebody contributes directly to the Rotary Foundation, how is that going to be recognized? I think she has a question as the incoming president on how she's going to meet her target when people are not sending the money through her hands. And then there was a question from Richard. Rotarian Richard is saying, you bring us big givers like Eric Kimani, who is an Acclaim Society member, having given $250,000 to the Rotary Foundation. How will I start? You also need to bring the 0 givers and see how they also inspire those who have not yet started. So he's asking a question around there. And then Marion Natkona, great discussion. And I think those are the questions that I've seen in the chat room. Maybe the panelists would pick from them and just wrap up. I don't see any hands raised in terms of wanting to ask questions via voice. So please, our panelists, DGE, would you go first on those questions?
Thank you so much, our own Frederick, and since I have seniors on call here, I will take on the simpler question, which the last question, where the issue at hand is that why do you bring somebody of 250,000 to come and talk to the 0 givers? I think it's all about inspiration. At what level should you inspire people? A friend of mine saw me with a major donor pin and asked what it was. And he's very busy now raising his bar to make sure that he gets a major donor pin. Today, we have been able to raise this money from this call. Where has this money been? It has been in our pockets. So you must bring that level of personality to inspire us. That's what I would give. That's the answer I would give to my Marion, that next time when we are looking for 0, we shall bring 0 givers. And another time we are looking for givers, Then we shall bring the likes of our PDG Chimani and our own other friends. And I know that the reason for coming to Daybreak was not by coincidence. We are also following up givers. I wanted to leave the bigger questions to my bigger brothers on Discord.
Okay, PDG Jayesh, do you want to take on the...
I will attempt, but I think PDG Eric would probably be the correct, yes, the correct experience from all over is to answer some of those questions. But the question about it being a leadership failure, that's a yes and a no, actually. You know, you can look at it both ways. But yes, as leaders, we are charged. Now, it's not just the club leadership, by the way, you know, it is also the district leaders as well. We are all charged with inspiring people to give. So if people don't give, it is actually a failure on our part as well. And we have to recognize that, and we have to try to find ways around it on how to give. But there was one question that was brought up that I really think we need a little bit of clarification on, or we need to provide clarification on there, is the terms of RI or TRF giving goals to the districts or district giving goals to the clubs. Now you have to understand one thing, TRF doesn't give us goals. TRF doesn't tell you that you have to collect this much to give it to there. District governors come up with their goals with their team, okay? However, that goal is also a target, and it's really meaningless when you look at the interaction between the clubs and TRF. You see, everything that happens in Rotary clubs happens at the club level. Okay, it doesn't happen at the district level. It happens at the club level, right? Now, what are the goals that TRF sees from the district? It's not the district governor's goals that TRF sees. TRF sees your club's individual goals that you put on when you put in your club goals at the beginning of the year or before the beginning of the year. And then they take all the clubs and they total that up, and that becomes your district's goal. Now, that may be different from what your district governor has said or whatever. But each club needs to come up with its own goal, and it needs to make sure that that goal is attained, but it also needs to make sure that every member contributes something towards it. I think I leave the rest to PDG Eric, please.
Thank you, Jayesh. I'll make very quick contributions. Number one, about leadership. Don't ask people to do what you cannot do, or what you are not doing yourself. That really is a basic test of leadership. Don't ask people to do what you cannot do or what you are not doing yourself. There was a question about how does the money add up? If somebody gives direct, does it meet the club goals? Let me make this very simple. If you give $100, it counts to you as an individual. Whether you give it direct by credit card or through your club or through your president, it all goes to you as an individual. The same credit goes to your club. The same credit goes to your country. The same credit goes to your district. And if it was a lot of money, it goes to the zone as well. It counts for everything. So don't assume that if you give direct, it will not be reflected in your district giving. Somebody asked, can you give for many people as one? Yes, there is a way. Please ask your TRF person. There is a list. You could just give $10,000 for 20 people and set it as one list with their Rotary numbers. And again, the same process works. The other person who asked, why do you bring the likes of Eric Kimani to address us? I can only answer you by telling you that in 2014, it is the first time I declared publicly that one day I will become an AKS. I believe that if you want to be a giant, you need to work with giants. I believe if you want to grow, you must work with people who grow. So my final word to everybody who is here, the almost 300 people who came today, 200 people, please make a declaration to yourself. What do you want to do in the next 1 year, in the next 1 month? This is Rotary Foundation Month. Write that declaration for yourself. I'll give $100 this month, I'll give 1,000, I'll give whatever. And by next year, tell Jayesh or somebody, I want to be a major donor, or I want to talk to Eric Kimani and let him tell me how to live life after death, how to give after death. I can teach that because there are people who are also in that category. But make a declaration to yourself tonight that you are not going to attend these talks to be inspired, and you expire the minute you leave the door. Do something. And believe you me, you will tell the story many years from now to say, I gave my first $5 when Jayesh spoke, or my $100 or my 1,000. And I guarantee you, you will be able to find the money. But to your point, Jesus commended the lady who had given coins against all the millionaires who are in that church, because we don't give because we have. We give each according to his own means and his own belief. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think, President, the one question that you still have to answer yourself is the house. Probably we need to let the people know how they can use their debit cards and credit cards to be able to give, because it looks like in the chat that question has come back again. Over to you, President, now.
Yes, thank you very, very, very much, PAG. Doctor in the making, Frederick Chibedi. How do we use the credit cards to give? Oh yes, I know that these and among many questions that are still in our audience will be addressed, but allow me that right now we allow some of our comrades that would like to go and embark on their daily engagements to harness the contributions to the Rotary Foundation. I will quickly invite you, Rotarian Faith Tushabe, as we prepare the statistics summary. Faith Tushabe, would you please move a befitting vote of thanks and present our certificates of appreciation to our district governors in the House that have done us very good and done justice to the subject this morning. Over to you, Faith Tushabe.
Thank you, Mr. President. I hope I am loud and clear.
Loud and clear, go right ahead.
I don't know if this vote of thanks can be befitting, because this has been quite a challenge this morning. And we are grateful to our district leaders for taking the time to help us start the journey. I personally, I have started the journey today. And to our DGE, Peace Taremo, please accept our certificate of appreciation. I actually didn't know that you have some jokes with you. I have learned a lot from you. Thank you for helping us understand our role as Rotarians and to create awareness, and also to have an attitude towards this contribution. And in appreciation and recognition for sharing your knowledge and experience during the Serving to Change Lives through TRF, the East African Experience. Thank you so much, sir, for taking the time this morning. And to our PDG, Jayesh Asha, thank you so much for taking the time to encourage us to start giving. And then from there on, we can continue giving. Thank you for encouraging us to start the journey. And in appreciation and recognition for sharing your knowledge and experience during this Serving to Change Lives through TRF, East African Experience. And also, finally, and not least, of course, to our PDG, Eric Kimani. Thank you so much for giving us a call to action to move from hearing and to doing, in appreciation and recognition for sharing your knowledge and experience during the Serving to Change Lives through TRF East African Experience. I know in the appropriate time, the certificates will be handed over to you personally by our able and capable president. We appreciate so much for taking the time this morning to teach us about TRF and giving and starting our journey. Thank you so much. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, Rotarian Faith. And to you, our leaders, wow, the ease with which you share this wisdom is true confirmation that you're sharing from experience. You're taking us to a journey that you have walked. And there's no better way for us to appreciate you, in addition to these kind words of appreciation, to let you know that you have enabled us collect $4,500 to the Rotary by members, only members of the Rotary Club of Kampala. This is the best way to appreciate your time and your words of encouragement. Yes, you can even do clap and shout a little more louder because yes, these are great sacrifices of the members of Rotary. Thank you very much. It is now my singular honor and pleasure to invite you, our club admin, Irene Katende, to precisely give us the statistics as we get closer to ending the fellowship.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Good morning, members on this call. I'll give you a brief summary of the statistics. This morning, we are graced with 234 participants, 60 visiting clubs, 2 Rotaract clubs, several number of guests. We had 75%, that is members' attendance. A detailed statistics will be circulated on different platforms before the close of today. Thank you so much, and over to you, Mr. President.
My work is now very simple. It is to say thank you very much to each and every single one of you that has made this fellowship a worthwhile. But I will not, hesitate to appreciate our district leaders. It is quite unusual to have 7 district governors in a fellowship. So to you, our able leader, PDG Ken Mugisha, thank you so very much. You're always home and you're always with us. PDG FX, like we rightly call you, what a joy it is to always host you. And to you, our comrades, PDG Jayesh and PDG Eric. Wow, what a day and what a moment that we have started. I believe this is going to be a milestone that will spur more giving, and not only to the members of Rotary Club of Kampala Daybreaks, but to all the 236 members that joined us. Our friend and our brother and my friend DGE Peace Tarema, wow, thank you so very much. You're always there when we need you, and you don't give half, you give your best. Thank you very, very much. I've learned that from you, that if you're to do something, do it to your best. Thank you very much, DGE. And to our able DGE, Honorable Dr. Mike Sebalu Salongo. Yes, I'm still in the long distance class of Salongo, but thank you so much. You're always with us, and we really don't take you for granted, and we appreciate you. To all our district leaders, I saw DES Jen with us at some point, and to all our past assistant governors, to the change maker assistant governors led by the Dean of Assistant Governor, and to the change maker presidents. I saw the POP of all presidents, District 9214, and POP presidents, District 2913, Kate Baraza, and Donna. Thank you very, very, very much for being with us. And to my comrades, CMPs, seeing over 25 of you with us this morning is quite warming. I hope God will give us the grace at daybreak to return all these wonderful visits that you have given us. I cannot thank each and every single one of you and complete. I will not hesitate to appreciate you, DGN Francisco Semwanga, always with us every Thursday morning. What a joy it is to always host you. So friends, I know that the interaction is still going on, but we need to close the fellowship and allow the interaction to carry forward. I invite you, Rotarian Grace Vikumbi, who has actually given us $100 to close this fellowship with a final toast.
Thank you so much, President. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, the big 3 that have presented today. Thank you for coming. And I want everyone to hold the most precious part of your body for such a wonderful fellowship we've had today, and insightful, and also learning to give to Rotary. Let's toast to Rotary International.
Rotary the world over. Rotary the world over.
Rotary the world over.
And make your blessing. For those of us that
Rotary the world over.
For those of us that want to engage PDG Eric, PDG Jayesh, and DGE Peace for the next 10 minutes, the journey starts now, and you're welcome to ask and interact at leisure. Over to you, comrades.
Thank you, President.
You're welcome. And I think we can start with the question that started the floor, and maybe PDG Eric, you can guide us here. How do I give using my credit card? It's a question I'm seeing in so many comrades here?
I think it is the easiest of them all. One thing you must know and you need to know is only your Rotary number, because that is what it will ask you. Once you go to any website, and you can, right now, if you are on the screen and if you are sharing the screen, if you go to any Rotary website, that button called donate is always there. If you press it, it will ask you exactly how it asks you when you are buying things in the supermarket. What do you want to donate for? Is it polio? Is it this, blah, blah, blah? And even if you don't know, you can change later and tell them, I meant to do this or that. But it's the easiest. Just go and press the key donate. The problem with us in Africa, we still fear that our money could be stolen. I have not had a single incident of a credit card or a debit card stolen because somebody was giving to Rotary. So the giving is very easy. Just go to the website right now, and any Rotary website will have the donate key. And if you don't find it, just write at the question mark, donate, and it will, and search, and it will take you to a donate page. And you just donate, but critical, please know your Rotary number. And let me tell you a secret again, many Rotarians don't even know their number. Our Rotarians still, many of them don't. But who does have the record? Your secretary can access it, your treasurer, and your president. Just ask them. They should be able to access that number if you have forgotten it, because it's the most important number. Jayesh, have I forgotten something on that?
No, you're absolutely right, PDG Eric. The other thing too is if you go on the Rotary website and you log in, then you don't even have to remember your number, because once you're logged in, the system already knows what your number is. One other thing that we do in my club that may help other clubs is, again, the two people in the club who have access to this, and that is the secretary and the treasurer, and they can actually give on behalf of others as well in the club. So in my club, what they do is everybody just gives it to the treasurer. He uses his credit card, just goes online, and when he goes to give the donate, it will actually ask one additional question which doesn't appear to the rest of us. And that is, are you giving on behalf of other members or are you giving for yourself? If he says on behalf of other members, then the whole list of membership comes in with places where you can put in $100 for this, $200 for that, $5,000 for that. And then in one go, you can send the money out. If you're still afraid of using your credit or debit card, there is a solution for that as well. I think they do it in Uganda as well, but in Tanzania, for example, both M-Pesa and Airtel Money, and I believe Tigo Pesa as well, have virtual credit cards. So what you can do is generate a credit card number, load that much. So if you want to give $200, just put in $200 in the card, use that card number as if you're using a credit card, and donate to the foundation. That way you don't lose any money. You're not bothered with your debit or credit card being stolen or whatever. And it's just the easiest thing to do.
Wonderful.
Mr. President, would you like me to demonstrate this?
I think I will leave that at that. I will invite you, Annie Nyesiga, to voice your question. Members will really, you can leave the page on the screen. The donate, option button is there. You just have to click and follow the prompt. And if you get a challenge, shout, and you'll be able to get help. But Annie Nyesiga, I know you have a question to our comrades here. Please go ahead and shoot.
Thank you so much, President Chitakule. And thank you so much, our governors, for the information you have given to us. My question is simple. If, for example, the money is deposited on the treasurer's account and she has to use a debit card, are there charges associated with this transfer, or are the transfers to the Rotary free of charge? Thank you so much.
I think the simple answer to that is exactly the same way. You'll be charged by your bank, the exchange rate of what you sent the money. If you send $100 to Rotary, your bank will charge you at the exchange rate to the Uganda shilling. There will be no further charges. It may be that there may be $5 charge the other side, but Rotary will most ordinarily ignore the charges on their side. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for that guidance. Friends, we have just 5 minutes to wind this Chimeza session so that I can also allow our district leaders to embark on their routine days of service. So if you have a question, please raise your hand and shoot the question. Or better still, unmute and voice your question or comment, whatever it is.
Mr. President, I wanted to make one small comment.
Go right ahead.
I want us to stop giving ourselves excuses of not giving. That we don't know how to use the debit card and credit cards when we are the same people who go to the ATMs every other day. And for those ones who would have that excuse, I want to encourage them to deposit the money on their club's bank accounts where they usually pay the dues. I want to encourage them to go to the Uganda Rotary office, the Tanzania Rotary office, and any other of those Rotary offices. They will have receipts. It's not once or twice that we have sent money through Beatrice's offices in Kampala. It's not on very few days that we have sent money from clubs, waiting for it to accumulate and we send at one go. There are other yet simpler versions. Over Chimeza in the evening, somebody has his $10 he wants to give. You have a chance that for you, President, you have a credit card with you. Please, they give you drink half of the dollars, then the other half of the dollars, you put it on the credit card. So I really think that let's not start coming up with strong reasons how we have failed, how we cannot even start. They are always the most important thing is the will.
Fantastic. Where there is a will,
Mr. President.
Yes, my governor, Mike.
I really want to supplement what my brother Peace has just shared. In Uganda, in order to avoid the expenses associated, the Rotary office is coordinating that because there are many clubs that keep sending on a regular basis. So even as an individual, if you feel that your club may delay remitting your contributions, you can go to the Rotary office, and definitely the officers there, Beatrice, will be more than willing and more than helpful to ensure that your donation is remitted and is reflected on your contribution. So the idea of other ways of doing it, which may be complicated, is solved by the coordination and the support of the Rotary office. And many people have benefited from that, and they are not complaining. So let's make use of that office.
President, may I come in with a couple of words?
President.
Thank you very much, DGE. Honorable Mike
President,
Sebalu. Please come in, DG Jayesh.
Yes, thank you. I just want to caution a bit on what both of our DGEs have said using the country office. The one problem we have with that is whenever we send through the country office, we have to send it through the bank, and every single time there is a charge of minimum of $60 to $70 in sending the money out. Also, whatever reaches the foundation isn't the full amount because the corresponding banks usually cut about $35 in there. So if it is a big transfer, it makes sense. And usually we don't put these kind of charges in our budgets as well. So we have to be a bit careful. The debit credit card scenario is much, much easier in the sense that there is absolutely no other charges on there, and it's very easy. The other complication that also comes in when we send it through the country office is the exact list has to be then sent by email to the foundation that this person has sent, and there, as PDG Eric said, that number has to be there. Then when they're credited to that number becomes an issue as well. And I've known many times where we had issues where they were not credited properly. When you pay by credit or debit card, whether it's through your treasurer who has the whole list access on there, or through your own account, it goes directly to your account without any other charges, and that is the simplest way to pay. So that's just my 2 cents on that.
Okay. Thank you very much. Friends, I know this is a very interesting subject. I'm going to request that we end it here, but I will start with you, DG EPs, if you could give your parting shots on this very subject. Yes, DG EPs, your parting shots.
Thank you so much for the invitation. And my parting shot is, I would like us to live our motto, to serve above self. By paying dues, you have served self because you remember, it makes you remain a member. When you serve above self, please let's contribute to the Rotary Foundation. And finally, I want to extend this message to my colleagues and friends who have always attended the international conventions and DCS, when they have never contributed anything to the Rotary Foundation. I want to encourage them to give to the Rotary Foundation as one way of doing good. And finally, I'm looking forward to working with very many of you, and I want to encourage more of collaboration, joint activities, joint projects, joint funding, and joint fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, DG EPs. And indeed, we are not only looking forward, we are super excited and expectant of great things working with you at DG EPs. Over to you, my friend PDG Jayesh, your parting shots.
Thank you very much, President. Thank you very much for inviting me today to be part of this panel. I do miss my Ugandan brothers and sisters. After the pandemic, I haven't really had a chance to come and visit you as well. We have just been seeing each other on Zoom, etc. And hopefully one of these days we can all get back together again. But having said that as well, I echo DG EP's comments that let's take action, let's give something. And what we might need to do now is also think outside the box. There's, giving dollars right now is not the only way you can give to the foundation. PDG Eric mentioned that, and we can take it up later as well. The bequest society is there. Leave something for it in your will. You're not going to be using it anyway. You're already dead and gone. So why not leave something for the foundation then as well? So we need to think about all these things as well, and not just dig into our own pockets at this time to give to the foundation. But thank you once again, and my greetings to all your club members. Thank you.
Fantastic. I can say the pleasure is all ours, and we are super delighted to have you. As my friend DGE Honorable Michael Sewaru prepares to close this, I will invite you, PDG Eric Kimani, to give us your parting shots.
Thank you, President Frederick. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be with you. My parting shot is what I said earlier: make a declaration to yourself and go on and actualize it. It will surprise you what you can do. But I also want to make a pitch for my work. If any on this call is interested to find out how to leave a legacy, how to give a bequest or the big gift, how to leave your family name after you are long gone, please get in touch with me. I'll explain free of charge and take you through. So if there is 1, 2, or 3 people who would want to know more about that, the Endowment and Major Gift Advisor docket is charged with exactly that. Thank you very much. Have a great morning. And it's nice to see you, DG Mike Sabalo. Thank you.
Great, my friend. I will request that you share your contact details in our chat section for the benefit of the comrades that would wish to contact you over
It's there. It is there now.
I can only say, I can never stop saying thank you to you, our leaders. We don't take it for granted that you made time to come and be with us this morning, and not just being with us, demystifying this subject of the Rotary Foundation to the simplicity that it can get. And now it is my singular honor, privilege, and pleasure to invite you, Dr. Honorable Mike Sebaru, to give the final remarks and close this session this morning. Over to you, our DGE.
Yeah, thank you very much, Changemaker President Frederick Takule. Definitely, I want to thank by acknowledging, appreciating, and recognizing the impactful sharing undertaken by our great Rotary leaders in the House and on call, who have shared greatly. But my parting shot is to do with our very good friend, Jayesh Asha, who lost his dear and mentor dad recently. We were not able to join you as would be the case. So we joined you in spirit, in prayer and reflections. We really want to associate with you and your family and pray that your departed father rests in peace. That was the message I wanted us to share with our brother by observing a moment of silence in honor, memory, and tribute to his late dad, who was his greatest mentor. Judging by his character, the dad and the family did a great job, and we will always be truly thankful to them for having made you be part of our lives. Thank you.
Thank you very much, DGE. And indeed, like you've said, friends, let's observe a 30 seconds moment of silence in honor of our departed dad. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Friends, thank you very much. I wish we could carry on and on and on about this passionate subject to each and every single one of you, but even the best dancers leave the floor. So we got to end it here. Thank you very much. It's a bye-bye from us, and until we meet again, God bless you and make you a blessing. Bye-bye.
President, before you close, allow me to greet Kimani. I was his AG. Governor, how are you? Habari za huko.
That's what happens from villagers.
Governor ameenda nyumbani, lakini
we shall extend the greetings.
Asante sana, karibu sana.
Okay, bye-bye, friends.
Bye-bye.